Imagine walking into a room and instantly commanding respect. No fear, no hesitation, just raw presence. What if I told you that becoming fearless isn't about being born with confidence, but learning how to manipulate the very psychology that controls fear itself? Welcome to Be the Danger, where we don't just teach confidence, we hardwire it. In this video, I'm going to expose the dark psychology secrets used by powerful leaders, intelligence agents, and master negotiators to eliminate fear, radiate power, and make people instinctively defer to them. And by the end, you'll know how to flip the same psychological levers in your own life. But here's the kicker. These aren't your average be positive tips. We're going deep into neuroscience-backed methods, covert persuasion tactics, and behavioral conditioning techniques that actually work in the real world. So stick around, because somewhere in this video is a psychological trigger that could change the way people treat you forever. First, let's dismantle the biggest lie about fear, that it's something you have to conquer. Fear isn't something you beat, it's something you reprogram. According to Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Joseph Ledoux, fear is created not by reality, but by the brain's perceived threat system, the amygdala. The trick? Hack that system. One of the most powerful tools? Exposure conditioning, not in the basic face your fears sense, but in the calculated way military operatives are trained, through gradual sensory desensitization combined with cognitive reframing. Instead of just exposing yourself to a scary situation, you pair it with a power move or victory posture, triggering a dopamine release, which rewires your brain to associate fear with reward. This is dark psychology in action, manipulating your neural chemistry to dissolve fear at the source. Now here's where it gets real. Fearless people don't avoid pain, they control their response to it. The key lies in cognitive disassociation, a technique used by CIA field agents and elite athletes alike. When stress hits, instead of reacting emotionally, you detach. Picture your fear as a scene in a movie. You're the director, not the actor. Train your brain through visualization loops. 5 minutes daily imagining high-pressure situations where you respond with absolute control. Why does this work? Because the brain doesn't fully distinguish imagined experience from real experience. This is backed by a 2007 University of Chicago study showing that mental rehearsal builds the same neural patterns as real-life practice. Still with me? Good, because it gets darker. Want to make others fear losing you, respect your presence, and never underestimate you again? Use strategic ambiguity, a dark psychology persuasion tactic where you deliberately reveal just enough about your thoughts or intentions to provoke curiosity or uncertainty. Think James Bond. Always calm, always in control, always unpredictable. The human brain is hardwired to fear the unknown. By cultivating an air of mystery, you activate the other person's inferior frontal gyrus, the part responsible for social prediction. Keep them guessing, and they'll be psychologically hooked. Here's a power move. When someone tries to intimidate or dominate you, pause. Don't react. Silence when weaponized is terrifying. A study by the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that pausing before responding increases perceived power. The average person rushes to fill awkward silences, but high-status individuals don't. They control the rhythm. Use this in negotiations, confrontations, even everyday conversations. The next layer, controlled empathy. Unlike standard empathy that makes you vulnerable, controlled empathy lets you read others without being emotionally swayed. This is the superpower of FBI interrogators. They mirror emotions subtly, not to connect emotionally, but to gain influence. Want to make someone trust you instantly? Mirror their body language with a 2-second delay. It activates the mirror neuron system, tricking their brain into feeling safe around you. But don't overdo it. Too much mirroring comes off as manipulative. The balance? 80% authentic, 20% strategic. Let's take it even deeper. To truly become dangerous in a room full of fear, you must project nonverbal dominance. Your eye contact, posture, and vocal tonality are silent weapons. A lowered, slow voice signals control. Holding eye contact 60% of the time, then breaking it intentionally, creates a push-pull dynamic of tension and control. And when you walk, control your gait. Move with deliberate slowness, never rushing, even if you're late. It tells the world, I move on my own terms. Combine that with territorial gestures, spreading out, owning your space, placing your items intentionally, and people will unconsciously respect you more. This is grounded in proxemics, the psychology of space, discovered by anthropologist Edward Hall. Now, if you're wondering, can I really become fearless using all this? Here's your answer. Yes, but only if you embrace your shadow. According to Carl Jung, every person has a dark side, the shadow self, that contains all the traits we suppress. Fearlessness doesn't come from rejecting that shadow, but from integrating it. That means acknowledging your envy, aggression, selfishness, and learning to channel it, not suppress it. Controlled aggression, when combined with emotional regulation, is the ultimate formula for assertive confidence. This is what Navy SEALs, CEOs, and master performers do. They don't eliminate fear. They use it. And if you're still here, here's your cliffhanger. In part 2 of this series, I'm revealing the 6-word psychological command that bypasses resistance and makes almost anyone more likely to obey, used in courtroom psychology, political speechwriting, and high-stakes persuasion. But to unlock it, you need to first apply what we've just explored. Rewatch this. Take notes. Your transformation doesn't begin when you feel ready. It begins when you realize that fear was never the enemy. You were just never taught how to be dangerous. But now you are. So the question is, what will you do with it?